Hey Brody, this is Adrian Gomez. Getting into our analysis. I apologize for not getting it to you faster. Things have just been absolutely crazy. So looking out of that back leg, as far as the angle at which you squat, you're squatting well into your back leg, which is awesome. Now, we're going to look at the relationship of your knee to your back hip. So you are squatting well enough, but this knee starts to collapse inwardly. It's going inward. So what I want to see out of you is, as you throw, this back knee is actually going to do the opposite of go forward. It's going to go backward, hold tension, and then the whole leg is going to travel a lot better together. You actually do a good job of keeping it together, but you'll find a lot more power out of that back leg, especially into the hip and into the groin, as that knee stops collapsing and maintains the tension. So power to the back leg is a weakness that you do have. It's not a huge weakness, but I would start there, mastering that back leg. So next one is going to be the internally rotated front knee. So let's look at our plant leg right here. We're going to look at the knee in relationship to the ankle. It does shift a little bit, so the video's moving a little bit, but there is a shift. You can see how your knee opens up. You're going to try to do the best job that you can to get the knee over the ankle. So there's anywhere from a 10 to 15 degree variable of that front knee. So I want to land a little bit more straight with that front knee over that ankle. That's going to help stabilize. And then what happens is once that upper body gets loaded here with that or the lower body, once it stops, then the hips can rotate around that front side and the chest can rotate around the front side as well. So you have both hip rotation and upper body rotation, and that's going to maximize your power. Let's look at what happens into your front leg. You do go outward. You're slipping a little bit on that front leg. So I'd have you stride it just a little bit further. You slid a little bit into that front side. This is actually a really good setup into that front leg, which is about 161, which is solid. But had you not slipped, it would have been 133, which is a little low. So just take that foot outward, put that foot a little bit further as you plant, and we're gold. Next one, so front leg, externally rotated front knee. I think that's something that I want you to work on. And your extension of your legs are about 110, and that's solid. We want it to be at 110 or above, so that's awesome. So lower body wise, both the back leg and the front leg, the back leg is going to be maintaining that tension in the knee, and the front leg, the angle, and then also the direction when you plant, you're inwardly rotated. You're inside that ankle. We just want to straighten that out a little bit. Okay. All right. So posture, ball release. As you throw this ball, you're a B posture, and all that means is when you're coming on a mound, you don't want to sit downward. So right now your spine is forward. As you throw the ball, it shifts to this side. So we don't want it to shift that much. What should happen is this upper body, as your leg comes up, we want to stay back a little bit, just a tiny bit. So that's all I'd change, maybe 2 or 3 inches with that spine to help. Once you have this spine in the right place, you're going to rotate around it like an axis, kind of like the earth. And the less you move your spine, the more rotation you're going to be able to have with the center of your body. So let's go into release point next, which is our launch. You're releasing pretty good over that front foot, which is solid. That's pretty good. Back into that back leg, plant and drive. So I'd say it's a late launch. It's pretty good. We want it to be past that front foot, so that's solid. Let's look at the front glove issue. So right now you have a really long arm span, and I want to stay more bent in both the elbow. Back elbow does a pretty good job. Front glove goes outward. So I got it from this side. So yeah, your arm is a straight line, and then eventually you're pulling, which is solid. I'd like to see this arm be a little bit bent, just a little bit. That's going to help you emphasize this shoulder blade pinch into here, because what happens is as you pinch, you do a good job right there. That's solid. That's actually a really good job. Then this arm starts collapsing downward, which is pretty normal, but we want to reduce that as much as we can. Part of the issue is the internally rotated front knee. That's an issue that you're fighting against. So if this was straighter, you'd be able to rotate a lot quicker with this upper body. So the upper body is gonna be fixed by fixing the lower body. So that's solid. Front glove definitely an issue I want you to work on. So now we're going to get into high elbow right here. The high elbow is at 178 degrees, so your elbow stays at that shoulder level as you throw. That's solid. I don't think that's an issue. So it should be a straight line off of the shoulders. So, all right, so high elbow, front glove. We're going to go into chest extension. So front glove is definitely an issue. Chest extension, you're pretty high out of this. I'd like to see you a little bit further forward, about 50 degrees. All that means is this knee comes back and that chest has got to drive a little bit further. You're going to pull down a lot harder with that. And then the back leg stays on, which is solid. That's a pretty darn good job. So as a recap, let's look at last thing. We're going to look at arm fly out. Pretty good. I think that chest extension is going to help a ton. Your ability to drive that chest over that front foot. Part of it has to do with that you're slipping with that front leg, so there's not a lot of traction there. But other than that, I think the chest is going to help you lead with the arm a little bit better. Your hand flies out just a little bit outside of this elbow. So, you know, what's going to fix that is going quicker with your chest, driving faster, and that's going to reduce it maybe 2 or 3 inches. You're going to be able to rotate through that arm a little bit better this way. So that'll happen. Quick picks, double plays are all quick stuff that's going to help you. Marshals, walking marshals with that arm fly out. So I hope you enjoyed it. Go ahead and write down the things that we talked about that I called weaknesses, and then work on 1 to 2 maybe just one weakness a day. Start with the lower body and then work to your upper body. Appreciate you sending it in, and I'll talk to you soon.